Do you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water? That no matter how hard you try, meaningful progress remains out of reach? Heather gets that. She battled an eating disorder for years before seeking help. Now in recovery, Heather is here to tell you that positive change is possible even when it doesn't feel that way. Join her as she shares openly about her struggles and small triumphs. Fair warning though, Heather doesn't hold back. Her candid story may trigger some. But for those wanting honesty, hope, and healing, this is 1% Better with Heather. The information and stories shared on 1% Better are based on host Heather's personal experiences with eating disorders and mental health challenges. Heather is not a licensed doctor, therapist, dietitian, or other health professional. Her advice and opinions should not be taken as professional medical advice. Please consult your physician or a qualified health provider regarding any medical or health-related issues. 1% Better also contains descriptions of eating disorders that may be triggering for some listeners. Discretion is advised.
Hey there, my little gappers, and welcome to the 1% Better podcast. I'm your host, Heather. Today I have a special guest with me, Recovery Dad, as he's known on TikTok. And he's exactly that. He is a dad trying to help out his teenage daughter get through this eating disorder, recovery, and in the process has become everyone's dad on TikTok. So welcome, Recovery Dad.
Hey, Heather, how's it going?
Good. So let's just do like a mishmash. We're a mishmash kind of group. So like I think both of us are like the Hot Mix Express here. So
Yeah.
why have any consistency? Why don't we just like wing it like we normally do?
There you go.
So first off, tell everyone where they can follow you on TikTok.
At RecoveryDad72. So just had to throw a number at the end. Year I was born because somebody already took Recovery Dad with the at Recovery Dad. So I was kind of upset about that. So I threw a number on TikTok. That's it.
I think that's a Gen X thing. I think we all put like our birth year because you always see like in the 70s. I never see like 1992. It's all like it's because we all can't remember what the hell we're doing. We're all in that stage.
We could at least remember the year we were born. So we just 72, 76, blah blah blah.
Right? That's how you know where your people are on the TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like, they understand me. They understand 100%. My crazy.
100%.
So we were talking earlier about Olivia and her art. So explain to me what Olivia's doing with her art.
She really is good at it, and she has an art page on Instagram, and people will pay her for commissions, and she's made badges where she's made physical things and shipped them. She shipped stuff to Brazil, and the stuff people would want from her. But a lot of it is she will draw a character. People want her to draw a certain character with her style. And basically she draws it to them and sells them the rights to that character. It's her style, it's her art, but they now own it. Pretty cool.
So where can we get some Olivia art?
Unfortunately, .cat at unfortunately.cat on Instagram.
Okay, we'll write it down so people know.
Thank you. Yeah, that's her art.
Yeah. Right, make sure we got it right. Well, there is a this transcribes as well, but we'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
So what pisses you off about the eating disorder world on social media? Like, because you have a teenager, right? So like, let's go that route.
Two teenagers. Two teenage girls who are obviously it happens to more girls than guys, the eating disorders because of everything that's thrown at them, especially on social media. It's the worst. Just when you're scrolling through it, you see everybody's wearing a bikini. Everybody's got to have this diet. Everybody's got to have this body. I mean, and all these, I see a lot of these creators, that's how they're making their money. And they don't care who they step on or who suffers from it, because all they talk about is, you want to look like this, look at this. drives me absolutely insane. I mean, it, it does, because they want everybody to look a certain way, like them, you know?
Yeah, and that's got it, like, being a girl, right? I've been a teenage girl. Lucky for me, I was growing up in the 90s and the 80s, so all you did was layer on clothing and get your hair as high as you could. All I did was spend my money on Aquanet, right? You're welcome for that hole in the ozone, right?
Yeah, right.
But, like, it was such a different world. And now, even for me, being 45, and I'm a big, huge, I better watch what I say, uh, reality show of certain groups of women in certain
Yeah.
cities, and one that is in Beverly Hills. They're all like, I'm like, what is going on around here? And they're openly talking about it. They're openly talking
Yeah.
about like Ozempic. And I'm like, huh? Like everyone has an eating disorder and no one's talking about it?
Yeah.
Like,
It's incredibly irresponsible. Why would you even? And it doesn't seem to bother them, you know. And it seems like, oh, it's cool. It's like, are you out of your goddamn mind? Come see my house. Come to my house the past year or so. We'll see how cool you are. See how much you think this is a great thing. Get the hell out of here. I mean, I'm just glad that we don't watch TV, like network TV. We don't. I mean, the only thing we'll have is like we stream some stuff. That is absolutely it. Mainly movies and a couple TV shows. But other than that, my girls in the era they grew up, when they saw their first commercial on TV, they're like, "What the hell is this?"
so did you raise your, like, did you never have cable? Like, did you raise your kids quite sheltered?
We no we had cable. We had cable, but it was just for certain programming for kids. Because when they were able to operate the remote control and turn on TV by themselves in the morning, that was a great day on that weekend. Because then we wouldn't get Olivia would come in our room at 5 a.m. She would say "Baja," which means TV in Polish. And I want to watch Baja. I want to watch TV. Oh my gosh! But we had cable channels, but it was always cable with this network, that network,
Yeah.
and it was never. There weren't commercials. It would just constantly stream, and it wasn't on apps like now. Everything, it was they watched TV, but never really, honestly, network TV. Your ABC, CBS, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Never. It was kind of cool. It was weird at first to never see a commercial, but when they saw their first commercial, they're like, "What is this?" Oh, and then it's like, "Well, I want that." This was kids shows. I want that, and that was another great thing about no commercials because we didn't get that. Well, I want that.
Right? Oh, for sure, right? And what so talking about more like social media, and you have quite a big presence, right? What are the top like things that your followers want from you? I don't want to say like ask a question, but like what do you think that they're looking for?
Honestly, for me, um, they just love seeing that I support my daughter. Honestly, the DMs I get, and that's the main topic. And my videos, obviously, I go long. Okay, I talk in the United States, we can go 10 minutes. We are the TikTok videos, and I apologize a lot because I'll go right up to that, and a lot of them have even DM'd me or they'll make a comment. They're like, "No, it's fine." They'll add a bunch of mine to their favorites, and they'll listen to them while they're doing their homework because they said my voice is relaxing, which I okay, and they just love the support that Olivia gets, and a lot of them, they said they never got that, and it breaks my heart. I hate to hear that, and I almost feel at times, I feel like guilty or that or just mainly bad that they didn't have that support. And I feel horrible about that. And obviously, there's nothing I can do about that. But they just love to see the support that she gets, and they think it's great.
Yeah, and it is really great. It is really great because it's hard, like, because I've been a teenage girl, right? But I don't know what it's like not to have parents, though, right? So I could just imagine you're going through like the hardest thing in your life, and you have no support, and let's go into like the social media aspect of it again. Of these, we'll go on both sides. Well, I'll go with the ones that clearly have an ed,
Yeah.
an eating disorder. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, you're torn because it's the whole free speech, freedom of speech thing. It's like, do they definitely have the right to be there? But it's like, do you want to take some responsibility as that one social media outlet, whatever one it is? It's like, do you honestly think they should be on there? But you know what they're thinking about? These ones have a shitload of followers. And what a shitload of followers equals money, ad revenue. That's all they care about. So they will always be there. But should they, in my opinion, a lot of the people, it's hard to say because I love total freedom of speech. Do what you want to do, say what you want to say. That's awesome. But you kind of want to have it both ways. It's like, well, I love freedom of speech. I believe you should be able to say what you want to say, but except you, because I don't like what you say. Is it harmful to other people? 100%. It's horrible. You shouldn't be here. It's some of the top ones. Like, I know one of your favorites because you've had videos about she should not be on there, but she has the right to be. It's like, where do you draw a line? Can you draw a line?
Yeah, see, and my thinking of it is, I'm not, because I was the 1%. I talk about it all the time. I did look like this one creator. I have photos to prove it. And I don't think she's doing anything wrong, because she's not saying, hey, come on over and let me give you some tips and tricks over here, right? Because she's not doing that. But there are creators who have been on here who say that they're in recovery and clearly aren't. Like, not that one particular one. I'm not going to rag on her for that because she doesn't really get into that. But there are ones that say, oh, yeah, I'm in recovery. And I'm like, you fucking liar.
Yeah.
Right? And they got 2 million followers. And that's where you get stuck, right? Because exactly like you said, like, now you're getting money. Well, you can't fucking change.
Right.
Like, literally change your body, because that's what's making the fucking money.
That's making them the almighty dollar. It drives
but it's
you
also
crazy.
killing you. Like, you're going to die. It's not if I die. It's there should be a clock above your head ticking down, because you're not going to win.
Right. Not that.
It's just a matter of when.
And like you said, they keep that going because that's the cash cow. That's the money. And they're never going to stop them because they make them money, because it's so goddamn important. Is money important? Yeah, you need it to live. You need it to do everything. Is that much money important to where you're going to let people see this crap? No, but they don't care. Especially these companies, they're publicly traded. So who do they have to make happy, Heather? The damn the shareholders. They got to make them happy. They got to get their money.
Well, and here's where I'm brutally honest about it. Yeah, am I pissed that I don't have 2 million followers? Yes, I am. But I also live in Canada, and I don't get paid for shit. So
that's crazy. I didn't, until you said that. I had no clue.
Yeah, there's no creator fund. There's no nothing. There's no quitting your job and making money off the TikTok. Ain't going to happen, right? And that's okay. It is what it is. No problem. But what I have a problem with is me, when I was starting eating disorder recovery. You're looking for any sort of help, looking for a village, because there is none. You're either on a wait list for a gazillion years, you've come out of treatment, you're totally fucked up. And because I don't care. Like treatment, I that's another story, but it didn't help. By the way, just gave me more issues because I needed that. And now I'm looking to these creators, and you think, oh well, they have a lot of people, they must be doing something, and yet they're still this big. And they're bullshit talking that they ate 5 pizzas. Fuck you. No, you didn't.
No, no,
Right?
I
Like,
know.
no.
They'll do what
I
I
looked
eat
at the
in a
pizza and I
day.
gained 10 pounds. Like,
Yeah,
fuck off. Right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Those
Eh,
they do what I eat in a day, and some of those will do that. And then you look at them, and they'll say what they ate. Is like, there's no way in hell that you ate that, but they're just constant lies. And
And that's harmful because someone like me, I can weed out bullshit. Right? Like,
right,
yeah, okay.
you know
Right?
exactly.
But there are girls, people, not even just like girls, but people who think what they see on this is real and it's
Yeah,
real time and it's real. No, that video could have been made like 3 months ago, 2 years ago. You don't
yeah,
freaking know,
exactly. Yeah, you don't know.
right? And it's split and it's cut and it's edited so very, very, very well. And like, it's like making a movie. Like, come on now.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you're getting paid really good money, I can understand why. But and I see through a lot of other shit, like the girls that are always showing their bodies.
right.
And not just like in a bikini, but I'm not dumb, right? And I know what body checking is. I know
Mhm.
how to hold your head a certain way. I know how to show certain bones. I know how to make my face look fuller. I know how to make my face look thinner. Like lighting has a lot, like I'm not going to give anyone ideas, right? But I'm just
Right.
saying.
They probably
And
already
I
know.
know, but I know why they're doing it because they want comments. And it's when you're
Yeah,
so far in your eating disorder, and I think you're either one or two people. You either layer up in the clothing or you do the opposite and wear not a lot of clothing.
yeah,
And it's that you're looking for a reaction. And it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive because slick your eating disorder is just trying to justify something, right?
yeah.
I look good. And if someone said, which happened all the time, like, Heather, like, you look like the fucking crypt keeper, right? And I'd be like, well, and that's true story. True story. Um, I'd be like, well, fuck you. You're just mad that you can't put down that fucking donut, right? And
Yeah.
not me talking like my ED brain, right? I'm not
Right,
trying to
right.
offend anybody, but like, that's what's going through my brain. That's the truth of it.
Yep.
And these people are like, oh, well, especially when you start eating disorder recovery and you start nourishing your body. And we talked about it on a different episode about packing on weight so fast. Yeah, no, you're going to
Yeah,
pack on weight pretty fast because you're
yeah,
fucking starving to death. Hate to break news to you, right? So your body's going to hold on to everything. But you're looking at these creators who are saying, no, I ate 10 pizzas. And you're like, well, how did I gain 5 pounds in 2 hours? Right?
exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
I know it's all
So
just
it,
lie,
it
lie,
fucks with
lie.
your head because no one's telling you the truth. Well, we tell the truth. We do.
Yeah,
Right?
but
And maybe that's why I'm not popular because I don't show off my body. You never really see a lot of me. I never
right,
wear makeup up until now because I'm on video and I actually put an effort into it. But
right,
that's not recovery either. Right? Me getting
right.
glammed up every morning and putting on makeup and wearing the tightest clothing that I have and showing you my figure. What's that getting anybody? That's not recovery. Recovery is
And
messy.
plus,
You know
that's
what
not who
recovery
you
is?
are. It's not even close
No.
to who you are. You know, and they appreciate the people that follow us. I've said it several times when I'm on there. I I'll talk about some things. I'll talk about everything. You know, obviously on TikTok, you have to watch the way you say it. But I say I'm always going to be honest because I know they appreciate that, and plenty of comments will say that. You know, like yeah, we 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 definitely appreciate your honesty and that you're real. And I never thought I would put myself so much out there on social media, but for the cause that it is for my daughter's health and for her future, I some of the videos people scroll through the ones on mine, I dive into me. I tell about a lot of the hell I've gone through in my own personal life, divorced parents, living here, stepfather, just, I mean, I joined the military to get the hell out of town. That's how bad it was. And I put it all out there. And I was always a very closed off person up until I basically started this account. And a lot, even with my wife, I finally opened up about some things about my past that she never knew. And this app, talking in this account has really got me to talk and get more stuff out there, which I never thought.
Yeah, and it's funny, right? Like, because clearly both of us are talkers. Like, we can go on forever. And, like, we'll never run out of stuff to talk about. That's for
No,
damn sure.
no.
Right? But it's so cathartic. Like, you push things down, right? And being Gen X, right? How we were taught, right? You just,
Yeah.
because we had,
Don't talk
no,
about
I'm
it.
gonna,
It goes away.
nope, that's it. You freaking,
don't-
are you dying? No, then,
Yeah.
like, and even if you were, like, good luck, right? So
Yeah.
you just moved on, like, one foot
Yep.
in front of the other, and
Ignore it and it goes away.
then, like, you start talking about some other stuff, and then you start talking about your daughter, and or I still start talking about me, and it's like all like you get waves of shit, and it's like, whoa, what, right? Hang on here, right? But if I don't know, like if it helps people, then that's all that matters,
That's
right?
it's like this is like a purpose of mine now. And even years down the road, Olivia is good, and I don't need to learn anything more. I don't see me stopping because of anyone I can help. Especially the DMs, the thank yous, and it makes my day. Like just some advice I give, like they would say, ask me, like, would you want to hear this if you were my dad? What would you want to hear? I say everything. To hold nothing back. I want to know. And then they send me back. I did that, and now we're talking. You heard they weren't talking, them and their dad. This one particular person, this girl. And I don't see me ever stopping this unless I get too much drinks. Then I have no choice.
Well, that's why we're here, man. Why your
Yeah.
Canadian friend has podcasts, because that's what always pissed me off about TikTok. It's not
Yeah.
like I like TikTok, like I do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I take it back, don't ban me. But you can't say, and I think that's where the problem is with eating disorders, right? It's already sneaky and you're already lying as it is, right? And you're already in denial. And you don't want to admit that you're sick or whatever else. And now you have to go on TikTok and just pretend it's shiny, happy fucking people and unicorns are shit and rainbows over here. And it's not.
No, quite the opposite.
It's not like, and I don't know, maybe people just don't like me. Well, whatever, it's fine, pick a number. But it's the truth of it though, right? Like,
yeah,
I really try with my social media to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yeah, and let me tell you, 11 months of my life was lying in a bed crying.
right. And on TikTok, like you said, you have to watch so much what you say because I got a strike for something so stupid. A pic collage that showed somebody's face that might have looked like they were in pain or something when it wasn't the case. But I got a strike. I'm like, oh my god! And now you've happened to you, and so you start this podcast. It's like, geez, in the future to keep going, am I gonna have to do something like that? Am I gonna have to? It's like, but it's like when he's like, man, I already have one strike. It's like, do I have to put something into works? And that's why I made a backup account. I made this, I made that. I went to an Instagram just so people would know where to find me because I don't want to ever have to stop this because the reward that I get when I get a DM or a comment or they say, oh my God, thank you. It's worth it. I mean, is it hard sometimes? Hell yeah, it's hard because I have to talk about some experiences and hear some stuff and see their videos sometimes when I go through my friends. Some of it is horribly heartbreaking, but even when Olivia is done with this, I don't see me stopping. I couldn't stop. I can't.
No, and that's where we touched on it a little bit earlier, and I want to circle back around to this is so we talked about creators that we don't like that clearly have an eating disorder. Now let's talk about creators who say that they're fully recovered and they're charging out the ass to talk to you.
Yeah. You see them, some of these coaches, and it's horrible. It's like you're going to do that now, and so they're using this eating disorder, and that they say they're recovered or they are recovered, and now they're just going to bank off it. It's like, wow, how quick did you forget where you were? And they don't give a shit. It's all about money. It's just like,
see, and that's where I call bullshit. That's where I call bullshit. I don't believe that you are recovered, because if you were, you'd have to go through like whatever university or something and have credentials and whatnot, and have to probably get screened to make sure that you are recovered, because you have to go through psych testing and whatever.
Think so. Yeah. You
would think, like, I don't know, but I would think so. I would hope so, because I'm talking to these people who are recovered, and they better be fucking recovered. And so they can just say, yeah, no, I'm totally recovered, and bank the money.
Yeah, and just all they have to do is
and bullshit.
Say that and just put coach. They can put coach after their name, and all of a sudden it's like really. And then then you see like, I have Cash App. They talk about how you could pay them. It's like, oh my god, Yeah.
It seems sketchy. It does. It does seem sketchy, and I'm
not gonna pay.
Like, there's very no, and I understand the value of talking to people and your time. If you want one-on-one, like want to talk to somebody, there's a couple who and I'm not going to single anyone out, but that are like, they charge $40 to talk to them for an hour. That to me is that makes sense, right? Like, you want to, but they also do a lot of free coaching, and they'll answer your questions and whatever. But if you want one-on-one and you want to just talk about one thing, then like, no, I'm behind that. Like, I'm behind that.
An hour of their time, and $40, and they have the knowledge. They've been there, they've done that, and they're good. $40, even if it's once in a while, it's not like you're going to make it a weekly thing. It's like, sometimes, like, if you really need it, $40, is it worth it? 100%. Hell yeah. Especially
and I've done it. I've talked to one particular person. It was totally worth my $40, even though it was Canadian. So it was like, not 40. It was like 60. But that's okay. It was still worth it, right? Like, I got answers, because really, at the end of the day, too, if you're going through eating disorder recovery and you are talking to people who have never been through this, they can't answer you in the way that you want them to answer you, right? Like, I don't like having to explain what goes on inside my head. I could talk to Olivia and be like, yeah, no, I totally understand what the hell you're talking about.
Easy.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that part gets me, like that. Yeah, like people who just say, I'm recovered, and you're not. So
give me money. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Right? And like, it's just, I don't know, like, and we've talked about it before, why when you say you're not going anywhere after, even if Olivia's, let's just say in a year from now, she's totally fine, everything's going to be hearts and roses for the rest of your life, but you're not leaving. No. And either am I. I'm going to be in this forever, mainly because I think people are full of shit and they don't get told the truth.
No.
Or they don't want to hear the truth, because, like, denial's a fun place to live. Like, I was the queen of denial for a very long time. But sometimes, like, I don't know. I have a hard time. I couldn't put out bullshit. I couldn't do it. I have no.
Some people have no soul, no conscience, and they can do it, and they don't care. I could not do that. That's why sometimes, you're honest to a fault, because you just put it all there and don't care. And then whatever happens afterwards. But I couldn't in good conscience do that and just feed people shit and lie to them, because, well, look at all the views. I got 100K views. Look at all, man, how much I got paid for all that. So, oh my God, couldn't do it.
And so now we're on this, right? Now we're going to go on a rampage here. What do you think of what I eat in a day videos in recovery?
Those, you just by immediately looking at them, I could tell. I'm like, so it's not nearly enough. And I don't like them at all because just looking at it, it's like, that's it. You're in recovery, and this is what you eat in a day. Then you're not in recovery. You're full in your eating disorder because that's nothing. There's very few of those. Some people I follow will once in a while do those, and I watch what they eat. I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Those are the people. But once in a while, it'll come up on my for you page, right? Because you watch and follow enough people who are in this area that we're in on TikTok, and they're going to come across. But it's just like, no, I'm not a fan at all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not a fan. Like, there's one particular person I follow, and I think because she does a lot of extreme hunger videos,
Okay.
and holy crap, if she's taken all that back, like, and I think she is, I can pretty much guarantee. And so good on her. But yeah, like, I will never. Same with, I don't show my body a lot. Like, I did show
Right.
my dress when I went out with my husband for his work party.
Right.
But normally you just see me from here up. One, I don't want people comparing their body to me. I'm 5'10". I'm an Amazon. I talk about it all the time. You're not going to be my height. You're not going to have my look. Nothing, right?
I
So
could look
no,
eye to eye to you.
yeah, right. And I don't want people comparing what I eat to, like, so, like, I'm a picky eater, right? I say it all the time. I would never eat an egg. I would rather go, like, give birth to octoplets than eat an egg. It's not going to happen,
Right.
right? So I don't want them to be like, well, she's not eating eggs, so I'm not going to
I
go
don't
eat
have to.
eggs.
Yeah,
No, and
exactly.
I don't like mushrooms, so I'm never going to eat mushrooms. So that to me gets really gray, but I do a lot of the Canadian videos, right? Like, I bring on, hey, this is like the ketchup chips or whatever,
First time I
right?
had
Like,
that, weird as hell. Ain't gonna lie.
oh yeah, yeah. How did that go when
When you sent me
you
that,
got
when
Canadian
you sent me this
snacks?
shirt, when you sent me that, I'm like, ketchup, chips. I'm like, okay, I'll try. But it's like, you think about it: French fries, potatoes, ketchup,
Makes sense, right?
right?
I love ketchup chips. I
Did you ever
yeah.
put it on macaroni and cheese?
Ketchup on macaroni and cheese on,
Yeah,
like, Kraft Dinner? Damn
yeah.
right.
I,
That's the only way I did that in front of someone. They thought I had 5 heads, and I was like,
yeah. When my
I've done
stepfather
this
did
since I
that,
was a kid. Why wouldn't I
well,
put ketchup on macaroni and cheese?"
when we were growing up, and my stepfather did that the first time after my mom got married to him, he put ketchup on that mac and cheese. I'm just like, uh, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, my brother picked up on it, did it. Me, just the sheer horror of looking at that. I'm like, nope, never even tried it. Never even got it on the same plate as me. I couldn't do it.
No, well, and I'm a horrible person to ask about ketchup because ketchup's a food group in my world, so ketchup goes on everything.
It's a
I
vegetable.
love ketchup. Love ketchup. Love, love, love ketchup. So, yeah, the eating disorder video, like, no, I don't like them. What else? What else can we pick on for another couple minutes?
Mm.
What do you think? Like, we're awesome people. We're just gonna be going a tyrant, but this is
Yeah.
why you're here, right? Like, we're gonna
Right.
say the truth.
Oh, exactly.
So, what do you think about staying friends with people who are in? I don't want to say residential, but because Olivia was there, but because
Sure.
I find it too, like very hard being friends with people who have an eating disorder, disordered eating, body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that with
Yeah.
Olivia?
Like I said, she only is still in contact with the one, and I've met her. She was in my house. Um, she's a good kid, and so she's, as far as eating disorder recovery, she's pretty good. I think she's there pretty much. And so for somebody like that, I don't have a problem. But if it was somebody who's like all of a sudden up, they're going into inpatient again, up, they're going here again. No, no, I would, no, they would have to be blocked from her life because Olivia's pretty good right now. She's pretty level. And for her to just talk to somebody, and get those bad ideas again and send her down. I can't have that. We cannot have that in our life. She's too important. That would be a big
Yeah.
no. I would take a phone away. I would take every electronic device she has away. And would she hate us? Oh yeah, she'd hate us. But not letting her go down that rabbit hole. There's no way in hell. We've come too far.
Yeah, and it's hard, like, because you want to have friends as a teenager and you want to have friends as an adult, but it's hard to navigate. Like, I can only speak for my experience being an adult, and I've talked about this on my TikTok
Right.
about when I went to my uncle's funeral, and within a matter of seconds, my mom and my aunts talking about their body. Like, if that was a drinking game, we would have been dead in a second. You know,
Right.
like just slamming themselves into the ground, and I'm like, how am I supposed to be around? Like, how, like I'm literally sitting like this, like a lunatic at my parents' table. All food's good food, all food's good food, all food's good
Right.
food. Right. And I was just like, Rain Man, you know? And it's so, it's so easy to go down that realm with
Yeah.
everybody else. Right. Like it, and that's where I talk a lot on my recovery. Recovery is lonely. I say it all the time. If you want to recover, it's unero uno, my
Yeah.
friends, number one. And it sucks. Like you're going to be alone for a very, very, very long time. So you better start liking yourself, because table
Yeah.
for one.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally agree. It's even some of the messages I get from people. Like, they'll even talk about their boyfriend. Oh, this. Oh, that. And I said, no, no. I said, it doesn't matter what this person thinks. I said, it's you too. You're. It's it. All that matters is as far as number one. I said in a different ways. Like, you're the most important. You're number one. Honestly, what they think and what their opinion is, you shouldn't care. And if it hurts their feelings, tough shit. I don't. You shouldn't care. I say you're the most important one in this. You need to get in a healthy place mentally, physically, spiritually. If that's where you are like that, I said if you're not there, who cares what they think? I mean, it's. Is it horrible to say? I don't think so. They're number one. You know.
Yeah, and it's hard. And it's hard when you're young and you got a boyfriend and your boyfriend's your world and la 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 la, right?
Oh,
But yeah, right? But no, no, dude, like you really gotta, recovery's not for the weak at
no,
all. It's
no,
not. And I understand why a lot jump ship, and I am not at all pointing fingers or anything. I get it. But
right.
you really,
Not easy.
and you gotta have a village. And I think that's where we'll round out with this. Both of us are very, very, I guess that's our legacy,
Right.
right? Like we want a village because we know, like you've seen it from your daughter, I've been through it, that there is no help and people are full of shit all the time or just want to scam you or take your money or whatever. And
Yep.
to find a group of people in eating disorder recovery is very, very, very hard,
Yeah.
that are actually there for you.
Oh yeah.
And like, again, like it's not like going to any other recovery drugs or alcohol where you can go into a room and you're full of people with you and people who have recovered, and then they give
Yeah.
you a
Big support
sponsor,
group
and
network.
then you can, like, that's been around for 100 years for a reason. It's because it
Yeah.
works,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I really wish that would happen for the eating disorder recovery. So my thing is, I'll say, like, if you can get your hand on 12-step program, like just the 12 steps,
Right.
God, that'll help you through eating disorder recovery. Just switch out the word alcohol for eating disorder.
Yeah.
It's the
Exactly.
same thing,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
And yeah, so I don't know. I just want to build a village at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
just want people to know that they're not alone, because it's a shit feeling.
Yeah. Well, we're both trying. We are definitely both trying.
Yeah. So, well, Recovery Dad, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Thank you for coming on the podcast. And
Not a
tell me
problem at all.
once again where to find you.
At RecoveryDad72 on TikTok.
As long as it stays there. If not, well, this might be a
Yeah.
daily thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, Heather.
That's all for this episode of 1% Better. To continue the conversation, head over to our website at www.1percentbetter.ca, where you can access more stories and resources. We'd also love it if you subscribed and left us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And remember, friends, progress takes patience, perspective, and sometimes a little help from people who get it. So be kind to yourself and others as we work to get 1% better every day. We'll see you back here next week.